Hi, everybody. Matt Kroll here, and I'm down in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are coming together right now so we can read you guys the pilot episode of a series that I have in development called Circle Michigan. And I have some amazing actors with me this evening, starting off over here. I don't know where you guys are on the screen as compared to everybody else's screen. I don't know if my screen is recording or what, but because this is all new to a lot of us, I have Mr. Gerard Marzilli out here in Los Angeles. Gerard, you want to say hi to everybody? He's going to be reading the role of Martin Muff Sura. Down, I believe, below me is Manisha Schwartz, and she is up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hi, Manisha.
Hello.
And she's going to be reading the role of Carmen Sura, Muff's wife. And out in Tempe, Arizona, we have Rebecca Weinheimer. Becky, hi, how are you?
Hey.
Hi. And Becky will be reading the role of Madeline, and she is a lawyer in the script. And it's not a big cast, which is nice. And last but definitely not least, Miss Allie Wood out in Los Angeles.
Hi,
and
guys.
she is going to be reading the role of Andrea. So for those of you who have not listened or attended a reading before of a screenplay or a play or anything, it's a little bit different. So just kind of bear with us and we'll work through it with you guys. But thanks again for tuning into this and hanging out with these wonderful people. Interior bar night. Muff Sura, 37, sits at a bar. He drinks. People play pool in the background. Music plays on the jukebox. A male pool player and a girl walk up to the bar next to Muff. He doesn't look at them. Hey, Mel, 2 whiskeys. Shots.
I'm not doing a shot. Mel, I'm not doing whiskey. Don't pour me one.
What do you mean you're not doing a shot? Of course you're doing a shot.
I'm not.
Hey, I'm buying it, and you're taking the damn shot.
She doesn't have to take the shot if she doesn't want it.
Excuse me?
I said she doesn't have to take the shot.
It's okay. Really.
Yeah, man, you might want to mind your own business.
Look, what's your name?
Andrea.
Andrea obviously doesn't want to drink liquor. Andrea also seems to not want someone to force her to do that, which it looks like you're attempting to do.
Hey, what's it to you anyway, huh? Is this your kid or something?
No.
No? Then like I said, mind your own damn business. Sit back down at the bar and drink like you have been for the past 3 hours. Muff takes a breath, drops his head, turns to sit down. In a snap, he pulls back and clocks the pool player across the jaw, dropping him to the floor, out cold. He grasps his hand in pain. The girl reacts frightened at first, but fear morphs into thankfulness.
I always wanted to do that.
And we slam to black, and that is the end of the teaser. And then we have our opening credit sequence, which rolls. Act 1 begins, exterior street night. A nice neighborhood, a plain car pulls to a stop in front of a row of houses, the engine running. Inside the car, Muff sits in the driver's seat, and Andrea sits in the passenger seat.
Thanks for the ride.
Sure.
Maybe I'll see you out sometime. Maybe you can buy me a drink.
Aren't you a little young for me?
You got a problem with that? You'd better ice that hand.
Andrea climbs out of the car.
I'm Muff.
That's a pretty funny name. Muff. I'll see you.
Muff looks after her as she walks up to the house. He shakes his head and grins. Reaching down to put the car in gear, he notices something. A napkin from the bar, a phone number written on it. Interior, exterior, Sura house night. In the kitchen, the back door opens and Muff enters, walks to a table, drops his keys down, checks the mail on it. He speaks to us over the action.
My old man once told me that doctors should never have children because they never get to see their kids grow up, and that they're married to their work, their hours, their patients. After I became a doctor, I started looking at the children I cared for, the children I treated, the children I saved as my own, until I finally lost one. And in doing so, I lost myself and my desire to be a doctor.
Around the house, we see pictures. Muff and his wife, Carmen, at their wedding reception on vacation in Hawaii, a holiday party. Muff comes to an envelope addressed from a law firm in Michigan. Snagging a pack of cigarettes from atop the fridge, wrapping his hand in ice from the freezer, he heads outside. On the porch steps, Muff sits, pulls out a smoke, and hesitantly lights it. He opens the letter and begins to read. He coughs. In the kitchen, Muff places the letter back on the table.
Some things always seem to be missing from my life. Well, our lives.
In the bathroom, in pajamas, Muff brushes his teeth, gargles mouthwash. In the bedroom, he slides into bed next to Carmen. She stirs, then is silent. We look down at him from the ceiling. He stares back at us, and we push in slow. Muff rolls over and spoons against Carmen.
Hey. Sweetie, hey.
He kisses her neck.
Muff, stop.
Muff takes a moment because this stings. He rolls back over, facing away from her. Voiceover.
It never used to be like this.
Interior Surrey house, morning. Close on, a cup of coffee being poured.
What time did you get in last night?
Muff, seated at the table, looks over the letter and drinks coffee. Carmen cleans up breakfast dishes. She wears a power suit.
It was late.
Well, where were you?
Went to a bar down the street. Just wanted to be around people, you know?
A bar. Since when do you go to bars? You looking to find some young girl to replace me?
I have to go to Michigan.
You what?
Muff sadly hands her the letter.
My Aunt Rose left me something. My mom's sister. She apparently died this past weekend.
What? No, you're the aunt that sent you amazing gifts every birthday?
One. You know, I never even met her.
Seriously?
Seriously. Not once in my entire life. Pictures that my mom had, talked on the phone during holidays, but never in person. I mean, she sent me presents my mom would never buy me. She was my favorite aunt. And I never really knew her.
Wow, that's really kind of sad.
Carmen leans in cautiously and kisses his cheek. He's surprised by this gesture. There's a moment of silence as both seem a bit uncomfortable. Carmen fetches her purse and jacket.
Listen, I don't know what your plans are for the day and the evening, but I'm going to be working late tonight.
What, again?
It's a big case. So when are you going to Michigan?
I called Daddy this morning. The funeral's in 3 days. I'd like to leave tomorrow.
Did he say what she left you?
He has no idea. You really should come with me.
Carmen heads to the back door.
It's a big case, Muff. Just let me know when you're leaving.
She exits. Muff sips his coffee. 3 seconds later, she pops her head back in the door.
I know you don't want to hear this, but you should probably really try to find a job today. I don't want to have to support us both forever.
Carmen disappears, closing the door behind her. Various shots of Muff, now dressed, packing clothes into a suitcase, booking a flight online, reading the newspaper, smoking cigarettes, mixing an afternoon drink. In the kitchen, Muff sits at the table with his drink, his phone, and the napkin. He slowly starts to dial.
Hi. It's Muff.
Interior bar day. Muff sits with Andrea at the bar.
So when are you going?
Tomorrow.
And your wife? She's not interested in finding out what was left for you?
No, I'm sure she's interested. She's just not interested in interrupting her life to find out.
Ah, so you two don't get along.
We get along. We don't ever fight. We don't ever have sex either, but we never fight.
Ouch.
No, I mean, it's okay. I get it. She's exhausted a lot of the time. She's a corporate lawyer, so she's got long hours and, you know.
All right, let me just stop you right there, Muff. I don't care how tired I am. There are just times when I just need to have sex. Tired is not an excuse, even though most women want to use it as one.
It just feels like something's missing.
I'll say.
It's hard to explain. I can't expect you to understand what I'm talking about.
Why is that? Because I'm young? Believe me, I've had my fair share of missing something in my life. You know, I should go with you.
What, to Michigan?
To the dry cleaners. Yes, to Michigan.
You don't even know me. I could be a serial killer.
Yeah, well, I could also be a serial killer.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get out of here for a bit.
So how would you get there? I already booked my flight.
I'll drive your car.
You'll drive my car. Do you even have a license?
Oh my God, come on. Of course I have a license. Just because you had to give me a ride home last night doesn't mean I don't know how to drive. I mean, look, if I drive your car, you won't have to rent one while you're there. The flight takes you a little over an hour. I'll be there in 5. It'll get me out of this town for just a few stupid days.
Why are you so eager to get out of town?
Let's just say things haven't been the best lately, but I'm not complaining. I don't want to be that person. You know, people always want something to complain about. That's why we elect presidents.
Where am I supposed to tell my wife where my car is?
It's in the shop.
It's in the shop. Yeah, in the shop, actually. That actually does work.
Look, you shouldn't have to do this alone. And I can pay for my own motel room.
Actually, I'm staying with my cousin Addie, so if you do go, you're more than welcome there. I'm sure he's got a room.
Another person in your family with a weird name.
Well, in actuality, Muff is just my nickname. I had it since I was a kid. I'm really a Martin, but friends call me Muff. Addie's actually Atka. It's Inupiat.
Michigan's a little far south for someone with an Inupiat name.
And you seem a little too non-traditional to know your Northern Alaskan native people.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what's stored in this head of mine.
Oh.
Hey, Mel, can I get 2 whiskeys?
I thought you didn't do shots.
I never said I don't do shots. I just didn't want to do them with that idiot last night. Well, here's to Michigan.
This is happening, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Michigan is totally happening.
You know what? Here's to Michigan.
They do their shots. Exterior Andrea's house evening. Muff's car pulls to a stop. Andrea, who is driving, gets out, walks to her house. Interior Andrea's bathroom evening. The shower heats up behind her. Andrea stands in front of the mirror. She's undressing. Leaning to the mirror, she looks at herself. Grabbing a washcloth, she runs it under water. Lifting it to her eyes, she begins to wipe away makeup, slowly revealing a black eye hidden underneath. Slam to black, end of Act 1. All right. Act 2, interior airport concourse day. Over his shoulder, Muff carries a travel bag. He hurries through a quite empty airport. His phone rings. He slows and fumbles for it.
Yeah.
Interior, exterior, intercut, highway day. Andrea on her phone drives.
Okay, I have been driving for 2 hours without cruise control. Where does it live in this thing?
You found the turn signals?
Yeah, of course I found the turn signals.
Oh, it's located right on the tip of that stick.
Yeah, got it. Did you make your flight?
I'm about to board. How's the traffic?
It's surprisingly light.
Oh, look, I gotta go. I'll text you when I land. Don't wreck my car.
Wouldn't want your wife to kill you now, would ya?
This phrase gives Muff pause. He looks content. Leaves out a deep breath.
Have a good flight. I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay.
Exterior airport day. Outside the terminal, Andrea leans against the car. She drinks a Slurpee through a straw. Muff exits the terminal and approaches the car. He throws his bag in the back seat, stops a moment, and coughs.
You okay?
No, I'm fine. Are you ready?
She nods. They get in. Exterior highway evening. A sign reads, "Welcome to Circle, Michigan, population 2431." Muff's car drives past the sign, heading toward the unseen town. Interior Addie's house evening. In the kitchen, Addie, 44, a hefty man, moves slowly. He's making a sandwich. A knock at the door. He moves to the foyer. Another knock. "I'm coming." Addie opens the door, revealing Muff. Excuse me. Addie opens the door, revealing Muff on the porch. Andrea peeks her head up from behind over his shoulder. She sucks on the Slurpee and grins. Muff gives a quick smile. Addie steps to him and gives him a big hug. Muff remains motionless. In the kitchen, Addie continues to make his sandwich. Muff and Andrea sit at the kitchen table. You can't ever really know when a heart attack's coming to get you, you know? It's kind of like a meteorite hitting your house in the middle of the night. And this can't be Carmen. Is this your daughter?
Oh, no.
This is Andrea. She's a friend.
Are all your friends this young? You got to be what, 20?
Yeah, close enough. I just tagged along to get out of town for a while.
Nothing wrong with getting away for a while. Addie finishes making his sandwich. He sits at the table. Told the lawyer we'd be there in about an hour.
Addie, I want to tell you how sorry I am.
It's okay. It's okay. She had a good life. She had me. She had the people of this town. That's all we can really hope for with the time that we're given, to spend it with people who care about us. You know, I know you've never been here before, but I think you ought to take some time to maybe take it in, this place. Muff looks to Andrea. She smiles at him. Exterior Addie's house porch evening. Muff drags a cigarette. He checks his phone, scrolls through contacts, landing on home and dials. A moment passes, no answer. Andrea, on her phone, bursts onto the porch, unaware of Muff, and he hangs up.
Listen, I need you to get my stuff out of there as soon as you can. Okay, well, he's going to leave sometime. He has to go to work. I'll let you know where to send it as soon as I figure it out.
Muff coughs, catching her attention.
Look, I've got to go. I'll call you soon. You know, you being a doctor once, you should know that I'll kill you.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, so will everything else. A car wreck, a drowning, heart attack. Something will get you. We're dying from the first breaths we take. But I think the question we forget to ask ourselves is, are we ever really living?
Andrea lets that sink in. Exiting the house, Addie pulls on a ball cap. Muff, are you about ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Well, it's going to move on. Figured we'd take my truck. Sometimes the back roads around here can get a little rough.
I'm just going to stay here. I don't really want to intrude on any family business.
You came all this way and you don't want to see what she left me?
You can just tell me when you get back. I have to return a phone call anyway and get, settled in for the night.
Well, there is plenty of food in there if you get hungry. Just don't eat any of my pickled eggs. I like to save those for special occasions. But make yourself at home. My house is your casa or something like that.
Right. Got it. No pickled eggs.
Exterior dirt road, evening. The sunlight is just beginning to fade. Addie's truck rolls along. The horizon is beautiful. Exterior Johnson and Associates, evening. Addie's truck pulls up next to a rundown farmhouse. Exterior Johnson Associates, evening, standing side by side before the front porch. Addie and Muff, hands on hips, are silent.
You sure this is a lawyer's office? Looks more like something out of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Well, welcome to Circle. Not everything is what it seems. Exterior Addie's house porch, evening. Andrea on the phone carries her bag to Muff's car, putting it in the passenger seat, and she is fuming.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead, you son of a bitch. Burn it all. I don't fucking care anyway. I can take care of myself, all right? I can get what I need on my own. Yeah, as far away from you as I can get, that's where.
And she breaks, hangs up, throws her phone in the car. An onslaught of tears comes full force. After a moment, she finds the strength to get in the car, starts it up, all the while tears stream down her face, throws the car in gear, drives away. Interior Johnson and Associates office, evening. Madeline Johnson, 55, sits at a rustic desk, paperwork in front of her, in an office that looks completely different than the exterior. This is posh. Addie and Muff sit across from her. Muff, voiceover.
Things definitely aren't always what they seem. We all have secrets buried within that we ourselves have a hard enough time accepting, let alone even imagining sharing them with other people. It's terrifying.
Madeline continues.
Again, Addie, I'm so sorry. And Mr. Sora, I'm sorry to you as well. I'm sure you're wondering exactly why you're included in today's meeting.
My aunt was kind enough to leave me something upon her death. You didn't specify.
I didn't specify because I was required by contract not to disclose any information until you arrive here.
I see. Okay. So what information should I know?
Madeline rises, walks to a window. She peers outside. A few moments pass. Muff looks to Addie, who is level, relaxed.
You have a house, Mr. Sora.
I do. 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Here, Mr. Sora, in circle.
Excuse me, what?
That's what was left to you. Her house.
You push in tight on Muff, and he's silent, searching. Exterior, interior, Muff's car, evening. Muff's car barrels down the open road. Andrea behind the wheel, still reeling. Her makeup has been wiped away to expose her black eye. Interior, Johnson & Associates office, evening. Madeline slowly makes her way back to her desk.
I have a house?
That's correct.
Why couldn't you have just told me over the phone?
Again, Mr. Sora, I was following a specific request from the deceased.
Addie, did you know about this? You knew about this. Why didn't you tell me?
She didn't want you to know until you were actually here.
Why? And why did she leave me her house? That doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't she have left it to you? I mean, I know she loved giving me things growing up, but I'm her nephew. You're her kid. You're her son.
Mr. Sora, there's something you need to know.
Addie rises and puts his hand on Muff's shoulder. I'll be waiting outside.
What's going on here?
This is something you're going to want to hear alone. Moment passes, nodding. Addie pats Muff's shoulder, turns and exits. Exterior, interior, Muff's car, evening. Andrea, breathing deeply, drives on. Suddenly, she slows, pulls off to the side of the road. A moment passes. Her face tells us she can't leave. Slowly, she pulls back onto the road. A U-turn. She drives back toward town. Interior, Johnson & Associates office, evening. In silence, we push in on Muff and Madeline. She speaks. We can't hear. Muff is slowly breaking. A tear falls down his cheek. Exterior, Johnson & Associates office, evening. Muff appears on the porch. Addie by the truck looks on. Muff sits on the porch steps. He's silent. Addie joins him. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's all going to be all right.
My whole life has been a lie.
No, it hasn't. Your life out there is real. The career you once had, it was real. You really helped those people. Nothing can take that away. Your marriage, it's real.
This changes everything.
This changes nothing. It just adds a little more to the sum of who you are, Muff.
What was she like?
She was beautiful. She was a beautiful person. Gentle. She was the most giving person I've ever known, and it wasn't just to me. I imagine it's easy to be selfish when you're raising a child on your own. But she wasn't like that with anyone.
I miss her. And I never even got to meet her.
I miss her too. What do you say we go eat some pickled eggs?
That sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Exterior Addie's house, late evening. Exiting the truck, Muff and Addie make their way to the porch. Muff's car is gone, but they don't notice.
I got to call Carmen. I'll be in.
Addie nods. He makes his way into the house. Exterior Addie's house porch, late evening, continuous. Muff sits on the porch steps, pulls out his cell and dials. It rings twice, goes to voicemail. At the tone, he takes a breath as if he's going to leave a message, but stops. He hangs up. Exterior Addie's house, late evening. Suddenly, a car comes barreling into the driveway. Someone banging on the horn. It comes to a sliding stop in front of the house. Muff rises from the porch. A woman hurries out of the passenger side. Woman to Muff. Please help us. Please help, help. Addie rushes out onto the porch. As a man appears from the driver's side, the woman is lunged into the back seat, pulling out a child. The man rushes to her side to assist. Oh, come on. Muff chases after Addie. They take the child from the woman. There is blood everywhere.
This kid needs a hospital now.
Please help him. Nearest hospital is 50 miles away. Get him inside. Get him inside. They move the child towards the house. Blood drips in the snow. Yeah, the dog's on vacation. We heard that there was one visiting you.
I don't do this anymore.
Yeah, I know, but you really don't have a choice. Slam to black. End of Act 2. Pardon me. All right. How we doing, guys? We doing all right?
Circle Michigan will return. After
Circle Michigan will return in 3, 2, 1. Act 3. Fade in. Interior Addie's house night. In the hallway, we slowly push in on Muff, covered in blood. He stares off into the living room, then the kitchen. In the living room, the child, a boy about 9, sleeps on the couch under a blanket. His arm is thoroughly bandaged. His father sits on the floor beside him. In the kitchen table has been cleared off. A white sheet covered in blood, towels, and random makeshift surgical gear, scissors, tongs, needle and thread, etc. Addie speaks with Marcia. Beck, can you read Marcia for this scene?
Okay, no problem.
Awesome. Addie speaks with Marcia, the boy's mother, and they drink coffee. You know, Marcia, he's very lucky.
I swear he never goes in the barn without supervision. He's never tried to play with the equipment before.
It's like anything else. Everything changes. Someone can be one thing, and then the next minute they can be something completely different.
I'm so glad that doctor was actually here.
I'm not a doctor anymore.
You'll always be a doctor.
I don't care what or who you are. You saved my son's life. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have insurance, so I can just get you.
No. That's fine. Like I said, I don't practice anymore. I just keep those bandages fresh, and we probably shouldn't transport him anywhere for at least a day.
Should I stay with him?
He'll be just fine. I think the doc here can look after him until tomorrow. In the hallway, Muff grabs his jacket, throws it on, reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pack of smokes. Opening the door, he's greeted by Andrea, her black eye now completely visible. She stands on the porch. He joins her.
Hey.
Exterior house night, porch. Muff sits on the steps. Andrea joins him. He lights a smoke.
Did you have a hot date or something?
He hits me. I was going to steal your car and drive as far away from everything as I could. Start over fresh. You know? Where you can be anyone you want to be. A new life. Where your past doesn't matter.
I just saved a little boy's life tonight.
What?
A kid had his arm horribly lacerated on some farm equipment. No hospital, no doctor around. His parents brought him here because they heard I was here, that I was a doctor.
But you're not a doctor anymore.
See, that's the thing. When we laid that kid down on the kitchen table, something inside me just turned on. I didn't even have to think about it. I just went to work. No emotions, no second thoughts. I just fixed him. No matter what I do now or who I think I am, I'll always have that with me. The past will always matter, no matter what. It shaped me, it shaped you, and no matter how much we want to run from certain things in our lives, tonight I realize helping that boy, fixing him, it is always going to be a part of me. I need to either embrace that or cease to exist because there is no running from it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, you're here, right? I think deep down you understand that too.
Muff coughs. He throws his smoke into the yard.
You okay?
Yeah.
Hey, how did tonight go at the lawyer's office and all?
Muff looks up to her. Interior Johnson and Associates office. Evening. Muff sits across from Madeline.
Of what I'm about to tell you, I need for you to not react with anger. I do not want to have to call the authorities. How you process and deal with this information is up to you on your own time and not in this office. Understood?
Okay, understood.
Mrs. Sanak was your birth mother, Mr. Shura. You are the youngest of 2 children. The man outside is not your cousin. He's your older brother. Now, I'm not aware of anything else that causes of misinformation or family secrets. This is all the information I was provided at this particular moment. I'm sure this is not what you expected to hear, but it's what you need to know. This town, this place, is your heritage, Mr. Surratt. I hope that can mean as much to you someday as it does to the people who reside here.
We slowly push in on Muff, and Madeline opens up a desk drawer, retrieving a set of keys. She slides them slowly across the desk.
Welcome to Circle, Mr. Surratt. Welcome home.
Exterior dirt road evening. The sun has almost faded. Addie's truck rolls along back toward home. Interior Addie's truck evening. Addie and Muff sit in silence for a moment.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because this is how she wanted it. This is how she wanted you to know. Muff pulls out his cell, dials, it rings voicemail. He hangs up. Immediately, his phone rings. He checks the ID.
Carmen, hey, I've been trying to call.
Muff, stop. Listen to me. I have something to tell you.
Well, hun, I have so much I need to tell you, too.
No, Muff, I cheated. I want a divorce. You should probably stay with Addie for a while. I know you don't really know each other, but it's just going to make things go a lot smoother that way.
Muff can't speak. Addie just looks to him. He hangs up.
Stop the truck.
What?
Stop the truck.
Addie pulls the truck to the side of the road and stops. Muff slowly gets out of the vehicle, walks forward into the beams of the headlights. Addie's POV. Through the windshield, we see Muff drop to his knees. He's given out. In the silence of the truck's cabin, we see him weep uncontrollably. It feels as if it will never stop. Exterior, Sanak Homestead Day. Addie, Andrea, and Muff stand side by side on the sidewalk, looking up at Muff's new home. It's quaint, warm.
You know, it's cute.
I have a lot of memories in this place. The first time I kissed a girl was in that room, right there. Norma Brunson.
Your first kiss was a girl called Norma?
The first girl I kissed was called Norma.
Oh, touche.
Muff, you ready to do the honors? Muff pulls the keys from his pocket. The three move toward the house. Interior Cenac Homestead Day. Interior Cenac Homestead guest bedroom day. Bare, a single bed, dresser. The door opens. Muff and Andrea enter and take a look around.
This'll work.
Well, you're not sleeping in here, are you? There are 2 other bedrooms.
I am.
Seriously?
Seriously, you can have Rose's room.
What?
Well, where are you going to go? You can't go back to him, and you have no money, no other place to go. I can't go back either. At least not right now. Maybe when things settle a bit, Carmen and I can talk.
What's happening with you two?
I don't know. But I do know that I have a home here. We are standing in it. Imagine what my life would have been like here. Imagine all the heartache I could have avoided, the lack of contentment I could have avoided by growing up in this house, this place.
Yeah, but imagine all that you would have missed out on. I mean, you saved that boy's life because of who you are, where you grew up, who you became. That's worth something.
Well, yes, it is, but now there's so much of who I am that's a mystery. You could have driven off last night, but you didn't. Maybe that means something.
You're a good man, Muff. If your wife can't see that, then she's blind. You could have not stood up for me in that bar, but you did. Maybe that means something.
And then stay in Rose's room. Stay in circle with me. And maybe we can find out what that is.
You're just trying to get in my pants.
Yeah, keep dreaming, kid.
Hey, this kid could knock your socks off.
Interior Cenac Homestead Kitchen Day. Addie puts away some groceries into the refrigerator. Muff and Andrea enter. She carries a box of old photos and sits at the table.
Addie, you didn't have to do all this.
Well, you need food, don't you? Besides, you're going to have to be mentally sharp for the patients you're going to be seeing.
Excuse me?
Patience?
Yeah, well, word around circle is that you saved the boy's life. I'm pretty sure with the doc being away and all, you're going to be getting some visitors.
Are you serious?
Unless you want people to be dying while they're being transported 50 miles to the nearest hospital, you'll have to take a look at some sick folks while you're here. What is that? What is that? The Hippocratic Oath? Whatever it's called.
Hippocratic Oath.
That's it. Yes. Yeah. You can't ever go back on that, you know? Maybe you want to make a sign for the front porch.
A sign?
Oh, don't worry. I already did. Addie reaches into a large box beside the refrigerator, pulling out a hand-painted sign. He sets it on the kitchen table. It reads, Dr. Mafsura, open anytime.
Well, isn't that cute?
Well, Mary Mason painted this for you this morning. She does fantastic work.
Mary Mason.
Addie continues to load the refrigerator. Exterior Cenac Homestead porch day. The action takes place as Muff speaks voiceover. We slowly pull back as Addie walks to his truck. Muff and Andrea wave to him from the front porch. Addie drives off. Andrea and Muff disappear inside. Voiceover.
Martin Mafsura. That's me. Once told myself, sometimes losing part of yourself opens your eyes to parts you never knew existed.
On the porch, Andrea holds the sign against the porch column. Muff, with hammer and nails, attaches the sign to the house.
No matter where you are, there is always somewhere to go. Welcome home. Welcome to Circle, Michigan.
Muff coughs, covering his mouth, pulling it away. It is spotted with blood, and we slam to black and end of pilot episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. So, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, that was fun.
Yeah. Good script there, my friend.
Thank you. I mean, it's always weird going back and rereading something that, you wrote a while ago, and especially going through and actually doing a reading with other people, or at least hearing other people do the lines, because I've never sat down like Gerard and Allie. I with you guys out in LA last year, we did like a scene of this live in front of people. So I've worked with you guys for like one scene of it, but I've never actually heard either of you read through, those parts before. So like, that's even just doing that. It's like really, really fun.
Yeah.
And Manisha and I have actually worked a little bit on this together, and there's actually footage, which is what is technically considered, it would be considered test footage at this point, in the role that she's doing, that she read. And Becky's like, I just read this like 2 weeks ago.
How many episodes do you have written?
I have 3 written. Yeah. And I do have like an idea. Well, I have like an idea of the first season, as far as like, as far as I know where the whole overarching story.
Yeah, you have a 26 season arc planned.
Not 26, right? But at least. But I have the first 3. I figure, it'd probably be like a good 8 to 10 episode, per season show over the course of maybe 3 or 4 seasons. 40 or 50 episodes, maybe. That would, well, I guess maybe not. Maybe like 30 episodes. But I mean, I have the overarching story idea in my mind. I know how it ends. I know how the whole series ends. So like, it's just a matter like of getting from point A to point B and hitting, specific marks in between the two, in between the start and the beginning, or start and the end of the story itself. But no, I mean, you all with Sans Becky have had experience with whatever this thing is. So thank you guys so much for just revisiting it tonight.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it was great. I'd love to do it again. It was good to revisit it after like a year when we did it in LA. To come back and read it all. I read it with my wife last night too.
Oh great, again. That's cool.
And we, cause she's a theater person and everything. And so, and yeah, she really liked it too. She liked
so why don't we go around right now, and we'll start with Allie, and then Monisha, and then Becky, and then Gerard, and just let everybody know a little bit about what you guys are up to right in this moment. And I know how difficult it is with the current situation of the world, but creatively, like, how are you guys staying busy?
Awesome. Yeah, so I am in Los Angeles, and creatively, I actually filmed something a couple months ago, so I'm in post-production on that.
That's great.
It's been a slow process, but a good process. I'm learning a lot about how visual effects work and what it's like to put in sound cues, as like tedious as sound cues are. So that's been fun and a good learning experience, and I'm really excited for it to get colored and finalized, and hopefully we'll be able to have a premiere in LA, even if it's just small, probably in the fall. And then, yeah, as far as like keeping busy at home, I've had a couple auditions, which is nice that my agent's been able to get me despite,
Now, are you doing that are you doing that online?
Yeah, so
that's what I figured. Yeah,
it's been like voiceover, or they've all been like related to COVID-19 too. I don't think I've had anything that like wasn't addressing the current situation.
This is why I'm scared about next year's film festival, because I think every single short film somebody submits is going to be about the
COVID
damn epidemic, pandemic. I swear to God.
Like, how long is this going to show up in all of our storytelling?
Right.
Forever.
So yeah, and then I just have been working on doing some fun like monologues, even if I'm just pulling them from shows and characters that I really like. I've been working on a monologue by from Barry, the show on HBO.
Oh yeah, great show.
So good. I feel like you'd really like it too.
I do. I'm not as far along. I just started watching the first season, and I'm just a huge Bill Hader fan anyway. So like,
so good.
Yeah.
he's like skilled at everything. The fact that he's had like such creative say in that show too is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been working on like a Sally monologue from that show. I won't tell you which one because it's in season 2 and it'll ruin things, but
Okay. All right.
yeah, stuff like that.
Well, I'm glad you're doing good. This is great.
Yeah. And I'm super excited. It was good to read this and like get the chance to visit it again, like Gerard was saying. And I felt like actually seeing the script in its entirety like kind of informed our scenes and like gave it a different color than we had originally performed.
Right, because we never really got to even go through, you know, any of it. I don't know if I've sent you either you or Gerard episodes 2 or 3. Monisha, I think I've sent you both of those episodes.
I insisted.
Totally.
So, but yeah, thank you, Allie. Monisha, what's up?
So I'm in Pittsburgh, and I last worked on a big movie that was shot here, a big studio movie. I was working as a stand-in, and luckily for us, we were able to shoot everything, and production wrapped right before all of the quarantining started. So it's been kind of crazy since then. I've been doing a little here and there. A lot of people in Pittsburgh, I mean, everything's shut down, so everyone's kind of doing things on their own.
Right, yeah.
Like Allie said, like I've been trying to work on monologues and stuff, and preparing for hopefully soon auditions whenever things start back up again. But generally it's been pretty quiet, so I was super excited to hear from you, Matt, because
Yay!
it's definitely you know, a good opportunity to get back into the swing of things. And like you said, I read Carmen a few years ago now.
Yeah.
And actually, Circle Michigan was one of the first acting projects, like kind of the beginning of my acting start.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's been a script that's I loved from the beginning, and because it kind of started my journey into this industry, it has a special place in my heart.
Oh,
so
that's so great. Thank you.
And I remember after reading the first episode, I immediately texted Matt, and I'm like, I need more. I need to know what happens. So
And it gets dark.
Yeah.
Carmen's character is pretty complex.
Yeah.
We don't see that in this episode at all, but it all comes to light in like episode 2
And Muff dies halfway through episode 3. It's so weird. You think he's going to be the main character, but he's like Janet Leigh in Psycho, you know? You think it's off.
Then it's just all Addie's show for the rest of the time.
Right.
I mean, come on.
It's
Of course
Addie's
it's
show.
Addie's show. That's obvious.
Okay, say hey, Rebecca, what's going on? How about you?
Just beating the heat here in the desert. My kids have been homeschooling, so I've been teacher.
How has that been going?
Fine. It's fine. They're so good. They're pretty much, you know, they check in every once in a while, but they've been awesome. And their teachers have been awesome doing online stuff. So.
Now, you said that you were doing a bunch of reading and stuff, and you were wanting me to send you more things. So am I allowed to do that?
Please.
Okay.
Send me pages all the time. I'll read anything you send me.
Okay. That's very, very cool.
I can't.
But I'm glad the kiddos are doing good. That's what's important. And it's, you know, especially right now, I mean, it's got to be so strange with not being able to go. I can't even imagine being a kid like in this moment and just not even being even to see my friends or anything like that. It'd be so strange to me.
Yeah, luckily they're old enough that they get it. But,
Right.
But yeah, and I've been making masks.
You did send me. She sent me a bag of actual masks, and my favorite one has a dog on it.
Cute.
Aw.
I'm a sewist, and so I've taken everything that was a mustache that is usable, and I made hundreds of masks and sent them out all over the country.
Wow, that's awesome.
Pretty amazing. Absolutely amazing. Gerard,
I've never heard that term before, sewist.
Sewist.
Yeah.
That's cool. And that's the first time I've heard it described that way. That's cool.
She has like a sewing machine attached to her body at all times.
Oh, so it's like a sewing cyborg.
Yeah,
Okay,
pretty much is what it comes down to.
Well, yeah. So I'm out in LA as well, like Allie, and like Allie, I've been doing some auditions, some self-tape auditions for everything from audiobooks to shows. And then Allie probably knows this. Obviously, there's these casting directors that have nothing to do that are like, send us all your tapes, please.
Self-tape, bring it, yeah.
And so that's what we've been. I think every actor I know in LA, it's just been sending them in. I know.
The freeform one.
The what?
Did you just do the freeform one?
I did. No, I did NCIS, and I did that one, and I did Shameless, one for Shameless, and
That's a good one for you. I didn't do the Shameless one.
Yeah, I had one. I had like a monologue that like I thought would work or a self tape that I just done, and they said you could send in self tape, so like I did that. So I did a self tape for a film.
This to me's got to be weird, especially with all the pilot season stuff. Can you imagine like what pilot season is like in the middle of a pandemic? Like,
well, it's always, I mean, there's not even really like I mean, there's a pilot season, but there's also not like a pilot season because the scripted shows are going on so often that who knows? Right. Yeah. But and then I also, luckily, just before this, thank God, I just finished. We got in the can the second season of that. I don't know if I ever told you about it, Matt, but a show called Real Acting.
Oh yeah, the Amazon series. The series you guys have on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, and
role.
Well, I was the main character. I was this teacher, Lawrence, who's this con man, and we just finished shooting season 2, and then we were just about to have this premiere or this little screening at the Kodak, not the Kodak, that would be great, at the Canon screening room, and then like we're gonna invite Amazon aggregates there because it's on there, but it's not like an Amazon official show.
Right. Yet. Yeah.
So like we were trying to, maybe get some financing for a 3rd season, and then like maybe get them to pick it up put it on their front page or that type of thing. And, people were watching it. Some of the producers were watching it with some of the Amazon aggregates, but we were going to have them there. And then COVID just canceled everything. It will be the graveyard of many a project in a career. But no, hopefully we can pick it up again when everything comes back to life. And I'm also hoping that a lot of these services will be looking for content, like maybe even like your show. Like there'll be a whole bunch of stuff that like, I don't know, maybe things can't shoot the way they did. Maybe there's productions that the actors had to be released from. So like
it's going to be so strange because the thing is, even just being on set, there's going to be a whole new set of rules that we're going to have to follow, even from production end to the artistic end. It's just going to be a different world when when everybody goes back and they're able to be on set again together. It's just it'll be really strange. Yeah. It's just going to be really odd.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I mean, who knows, I don't know. We're going to have to all just get in a room. Well, that's the other thing is I work for I know a lot about safety procedures for COVID because I work for the American Red Cross. That's my day job. And I'm a blood drive organizer. So I work with like movie studios, like, and government organizations and businesses, tech companies, and I organize blood drives all in the Los Angeles area.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Thanks for thanking me. But it's cool because I've actually been able to be on the front lines and do something about it every single day. I'm like at my computer in my home, just like on the phone, on the email, just organize from like 7 a.m. to like 5 a.m.
Well, I'm very proud of you. That's very amazing.
So it's awesome. And then I get to hang out with my baby being locked inside, my little son who's 4 months old today.
Yeah. Today, man. Yeah, that's so amazing. That's unreal.
And he's awesome. So a lot of, I mean, I'm not bored during
no, not at all.
I wish me and my wife could go to a restaurant, but like that would be nice. But
still have DoorDash, so that works.
Well, we do date nights where we go out and we just kind of like sit in the back of her station wagon and we just sit there and eat tacos off of a taco stand or something. That's our date.
That's great.
That's sweet.
All right, so we'll cycle back through one more time. We'll go Allie, Monisha, Becky, and Gerard. Hit people up and tell them a little bit about where they could find any of your work online or any way they can get a hold of you or contact you.
Awesome. I think I started. So I am working on getting a website together. But I have an Actors Access profile, and so you can look me up on there, Ali, A-L-I, space Wood, pretty easy to remember. Or you can follow me on Instagram, and I always have links and posting, what's going on there. So that is just at Holly Ali Wood.
All right. Monisha.
I'm on Facebook, Monisha B. Schwartz, and I always post all of my work and everything, commercials and stuff that I'm working on, and various networking things, so you can find me on there.
Rebecca?
Insta's my favorite, so you can find it on Instagram. It's just Patch Pixie, all one word.
Patch Pixie. And you also, don't you also have like a big like Etsy shop that people can go to get things?
Stuff's pretty empty right now since I raided all my stash, but
Okay.
I'll be filling the racks very soon.
Okay, very cool. Gerard?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. Anybody can always feel free to message me, friend me up. And my name is Gerard Marzilli. That's GerardMarzilli. And maybe Matt will post that on there. But yeah, so and you can find me on Instagram, although I'm still gearing up on it because I'm 1,000. And Twitter as well, Gerard Marzilli. You can find me as Gerard Marzilli under all of that stuff. And on IMDb if you want to look up the stuff that I'm doing. Like I said, I got Real Acting, which is on Amazon right now, Amazon Prime, and so check it out. Season 1. It's a cool comedy show. If you like Barry and you like The Office, it's kind of, along that line.
Definitely along those lines.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys again.
Nice meeting you all.
Thank you.
So we'll just say, we'll wave bye to everybody this way. Hi.